29.
A very good age to be married at. I have always been of the opinion that a man who desires to get married should know everything or nothing. Which do you know?
I know nothing, Lady Bracknell.
I am pleased to hear it. I do not approve of anything that tampers with natural ignorance. My nephew, you appear to be displaying signs of triviality.
On the contrary, Aunt Augusta, I've now realized for the first time in my life the vital importance of being earnest.
QT. And that's a wrap, everybody.
I'd kill for a drink.
I think something's been arranged.
Great to work with you, Max. You should do Lady Bracknell on stage. You'd be wonderful.
Oh, I could never get away with it on stage. I'm far too young.
I think that was really rather nice, everyone.
Nice. Well, who has sent us this rather undistinguished champagne?
Me, actually.
Sorry, darling. I was still in character.
You ought to think about doing more of this, Max.
More of what?
Radio.
Oh, I want to, darling. You know, I was thinking, Colin, while we're in the building, could you have a word with those people who do Desert Island Discs?
Of course. I'll get on to them first thing Monday morning. Excuse me.
Max?
Was he being sarcastic?
That's the director. You're treating him like some sort of office boy.
We have a car for you, Miss Chandler, but there's a little do at a restaurant if you're free.
Oh, treats, why not? But may I bring my constant live-in companion?
Oh.
Sure.
Well, don't say that. You make it sound like we're lovers.
Hardly.
Champagne, Max?
Oh, no, thank you. I don't think that was meant for drinking. It's more suitable for pouring over football players after they've won something. Ralphie, Mummy's home. Mummy's home. And Mummy's ravenous. I've loathed Chinese food ever since I went to Hong Kong. Their attitude seems to be, if it moves, stir-fry it. I mean, they eat things that the rest of us call people in to exterminate.
It was a really nice little place.
After a performance, I expect something a little bit better than a drafty basement off the Edgware Road.
You haven't just wrapped a big Hollywood movie, Max. It was a radio play. I don't know. Sometimes I think you've been up here too long. You've forgotten what real is.
I know the real world only too well. That's why I studiously avoid it.
Max, you're supposed to be an actress. You can't not access yourself to people and things and what's happening.
I'm going to access myself to the finest Scotch smoked salmon with scrambled eggs.
You don't know how lucky you are. Some of those actors, they told me this was their first job in months.
Then you should have given them the doggy bag. I'm not feeding Chinese food to Ralphie. We'd have to open the windows and doors for a week.
Margaret? Margaret, is that you?
Bugger off.
Oh, it's you. It's me, Freddie. How are you? You all right? You warm enough?
Harry's not here.
Is it me? Who's Harry?
They said we should go to Mount Pleasant. Said they'd see us all right there.
Who's this?
They said we'd be all right there. Said they'd give us soup.
Oh, was this a mission or something? Well, you should. They'll probably have a bed there and a nice hot bath.
Not bothered.
I bought you some mittens. And something to eat. Do you more good than sherry. Look, Chinese. Barbecue spare ribs, sweet and sour, chicken and sesame.
They ain't Chinese.
Yeah, could you send someone up for Miss Chandler's luggage, please? Thanks, bye.
Morning, Fred. Hard at it.
Morning, Malcolm. Help yourself to coffee.
Is Madam almost ready? Don't want to be late. First race is at 12:40.
Well, she's just packing her overnight bag, so you know how long that might be.
Max, We don't need any ball gowns, dear. It's just a rowdy night in a country inn with some gentlemen of the turf.
You've got your priorities straight, haven't you, Malcolm? Not only do you not take your work home with you, you don't always take it to work either.
Don't be reasonable, Fred. It is Gold Cup week. Morning, Max.
I'm not sure about this hat.
She never says good morning. Have you noticed that? She always starts off with a demand or a complaint.
2 Alpine? Well, do I look as if I'm about to yodel?
It's perfect.
Oh, you always say that.
Well, for God's sake, I'm not a milliner. I'm your agent.
Thank you for telling me. Have we spoken to the BBC about Desert Island Discs?
Max, it's not something you solicit. They invite you. It's a bit like getting a gong from the palace.
There was a man on last week from Gateshead I'd never heard of. He chose Elvis Presley records.
That was Steve Cram. He's a world-famous athlete.
Are you saying that I'm not well known enough? Passé? Over the hill? Forgotten?
Oh, come on, Max. I mean, look at the reviews you got for that Oscar Wilde thing.
Have you seen the size of a radio review? It's smaller than the bridge column.
Look, before we indulge in one of our periodic bouts of low self-esteem, let us just remind ourselves where we are and how we live. You are living the Savoy to go off to the races in Cheltenham, and your only major hang-up is which one of your 500 million hats to wear. You enjoy this charmed life because you are one of the few people who enjoys the rare privilege of being famous.
Do you hear the way she talks to me, Malcolm? Shall we not forget that you're one of the privileged few who works for the privileged few? Some of that glamour must rub off on you. I'm sure it impresses your friends in the wine bars and pizzerias of Covent Garden.
Every waking moment, I tell myself I'm blessed.
If we weren't late for the races, I'd probably fire you.
Yes, we really ought to make a move.
I saw you applaud in the mirror, Malcolm. It wasn't funny.
Oh, God. Are you all right, love? You never looked, did you? I never had a chance.
Margaret, are you okay?
Harry went to Beckenham.
I don't think we should move her.
Look, should we call an ambulance or something?
No, it's all right. I'll look after her. I live near here. Come on.
Excuse me, can I help?
Yeah, this lady's had a bit of a fall. I'm just taking her upstairs.
Are you a guest of the hotel?
She shares with Maxine Chandler, Mr. Burridge.
Oh, yes, of course. And you are?
Freddie Latham. And you are?
Peter Burridge, assistant manager.
What are you doing with that? That's mine.
I'm not doing anything with it, love.
I know it's a bit unusual for the Savoy to have someone like her tooling across the lobby with a cart full of rubbish, but, you know, she's an elderly person. She's had a bit of a tumble. I just want to take her upstairs, out the cold, make sure she's all right.
Of course. The luggage lift for the trolley, and, would Madam like a cup of tea?
Where all this go? The incinerator?
Oh, no. No. That's laundry, that's dry cleaning, and you can nuke that lot.
I send express, because she must be gone by the time Miss Chandler come back.
I'll have her on her bike by tomorrow morning. Hey, you know, the doctor said that there's not much wrong with her physically. It's amazing. When you think she sleeps rough and lives on a diet of chips and booze.
I lock the drinks away.
Oh, don't get all uptight, Isabel. I couldn't just leave her lying in the street, could I?
All right, but I know nothing about this, because if Miss Chandler find out, she flop her lid.
Flip.
Come?
No, you don't flop your lid, you flip your lid.
She will do both, and then she will go through the roof.
Yeah, well, she's lucky to have a roof to go through.
I have returned!
Oh, she must have taken the dog out.
Oh, good. Could you put the bags in the bedroom? Where the hell is all my liquor?
Oh, sorry.
Bugger off.
Have you, spoken to Freddie, Miss Chandler, since you went away, like?
No. Why? Is there something I should know?
No. Nothing that won't keep.
Valet service, Miss Chandler.
I don't remember putting anything in. Oh, no. There must be some mistake. Do I look like the sort that wears cardigans? And this is a shawl. The last time I wore one of those was when I played Mother Courage.
Well, it is the correct room number.
Oh, I suppose they must be Freddie's.
Thanks, Miss Chandler.
She must have been on a shopping spree at Oxfam.
Got anything to eat?
Oh, good God.
Margaret Smallwood.
No, Maxine Chandler.
Margaret Smallwood.
I beg your pardon, Maxine Chandler.
Margaret Smallwood.
Oh, you mean you're Margaret Smallwood?
Yes.
Oh. What of it? In here.
Got to be somewhere.
Did you wander in from one of the connecting doors?
They don't give you nothing to eat in here.
Oh, then you should call room service. But I prefer that you do it in your own room.
They said they wanted me to go to Mount Pleasant, and then they shoved me in here.
Are you on some sort of medication? Because you're acting just like I did when dear Dr. Gardner put me on Marplan. I was depressed at the time because I'd found out my third husband was sleeping with the hotel florist. Of course, what I forgot was that one mustn't mix that particular pill with red wine, and so I wound up mooning around the corridors in very much the same state as yourself.
I told my daughter, I said, I'm not going in no home.
This isn't a home, this is a hotel. What are you doing in there?
I want my stuff. They've stolen half of it.
Thank God you're here. Can you believe this?
Oh, dear. Yeah, this is Margaret. I let her have my bed because she had a bit of a fall. I meant to have her out of here before you got back.
Where's my stuff?
Oh, well, I had to burn some of it, but look, I replaced it. I bought you some underwear and some stockings.
Not my size.
Is she a relative of yours or something?
No.
Well, who is she?
She's a victim of society. That is more concerned with the acquisition of Range Rovers and cordless telephones than looking after its old and homeless.
She's a bum, is that what you're saying?
Well, yeah, she fell down about 100 yards from here in the Strand.
Then you should have taken her to the nearest hospital.
Yeah, but I didn't want to leave her on her own. I mean, see, her problem is she's not altogether there.
Well, my problem is that she's altogether here. When I returned, she was in my bedroom.
Margaret, I told you not to go in there.
I mean, this is my suite, my space, as you young people say. And you violated it by asking someone here without my permission.
Sorry, look, you better get your stuff together. Come on.
It's too hot in here. You can't breathe.
I know.
Go on.
I am livid.
Yeah, well, I vibed that.
And do you know where the drinks are? Because I really need one.
Oh, yeah, I hid them. I didn't want her to.
There's a problem in that area, too?
Yeah, well, she's a bit partial to sherry.
I take it you don't mean a small amontillado before dinner. We're talking about 2 bottles of Cyprus a day, aren't we?
Look, she's on her way, right? So can't we just knock it on the head?
Well, it's not that I'm heartless. It's just that there are places for these people. And the Savoy is not on that list.
Oh, the Savoy were brilliant about all this. And when the Standard called, their press officer checked with me first.
Called about what?
Margaret. When she came through the lobby, someone must have sniffed a good story.
I'm sure everyone sniffed a good deal more.
Londoner's Diary. Look, there's a picture of you.
Oh, where did they get that? I look 100.
Read it.
One of the growing army of London's homeless enjoyed bed and board at the Savoy last night, which must have been a welcome change from the board which is normally her bed. Margaret Smallwood spends most nights on a park bench near Waterloo Bridge, but after a traffic accident yesterday afternoon, she was invited to share actress Maxine Chandler's suite. Miss Chandler, who was last seen in the West End in The Provoked Wife, said later, "The plight of these unfortunate people has always appalled me. Here was a chance to do something about it. Margaret can stay here until she's well enough to move on."
Yeah, well, I made up a quote because they wanted one, and it sort of put you in a good light.
Miss Chandler was later quoted as saying, "I have no intention of letting anyone share my suite, and I have fired the person who misquoted me in the first place."
I think you're overreacting.
Oh, you do? I'm only glad I didn't stay away longer, or you might have filled the place with heroin addicts and distressed pit ponies.
Miss Chandler, Peter Burridge.
Oh, hello. I suppose you've come about the person.
In a way.
It's so embarrassing.
Oh, not at all. I'm sure everyone applauds your concern. The thing is, since the piece in the Standard, our press office has been besieged by calls.
Really?
I thought I'd better check who you wanted to talk to. I can't imagine you'd want to be bothered with the tabloids, but The Guardian's been on, and The Independent. Oh, and we've had an inquiry from TVAM.
Oh, well, thank you so much, Peter. Why don't I mull it over with Miss Latham here, and then she'll call the press office.
Fine. And is there anything the lady needs?
Oh, well, I could use so much.
Maybe a drop of oil for her wheels.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Personally, I have nothing against the tabloids. Far more people read them.
Ironic, isn't it? Only yesterday you were saying how it was everyone had forgotten who you were.
Oh, you are a devious girl. That's why you fabricated my quote.
Oh, no, I did it because you're famous and I'm not.
This, of course, is true.
I did it because somebody like you can spotlight the problems of somebody like her.
Yes, of course. One must do all one can. Did he say something about TV?
TVAM, yeah.
What's that?
Breakfast television.
They have television at breakfast time? What on earth do they talk about?
Oh, it'd be no good for you, Max. You'd have to be there before dawn.
Oh, I can manage that. Of course, you'd better fix a hair appointment and organize a car.
Oh, well, I just got fired.
Don't be tedious, Freddie. There's far too much to think about.
This is mine.
You off, then?
Oh, no, of course not. No, it's far too cold out there. I'm sure you'd like a little lunch, wouldn't you, and a pot of tea?
I like this.
Then you shall have it, dear. Compliments of Maxine Chandler. Oh, you must do something about my eyes.
Did you not get very much sleep?
I didn't go to bed at all. If I had, they would have been much worse.
Good morning, Miss Chandler. Nice to have you on the program.
Oh, thank you. And what do you do around here?
I'm Mike Hewitt, the presenter.
Oh, of course you are. I love the show. I never miss it.
We'll have a line-up in a few moments and go through the questions.
Lovely. By the way, I noticed everyone around here is wearing pullovers. Is that compulsory for breakfast television? Margaret is a victim, you see. A victim of a world that is more concerned with the acquisition of personal wealth than it is with its old and homeless.
Where did that come from?
People watching this at home agree. What I've noticed is the growing number of young people who are on the streets.
Oh, you're so right. I mean, you can't pass by an underground these days without some kid blowing a saxophone in your face. Max is, of course, part of this tragic problem.
I think we have a picture of you with Margaret, don't we? Oh, yes, yes. There it is. Margaret's comfortable with it. I don't mean, is her bed soft enough? I mean, comfortable with the situation.
It's difficult to tell, but I'll tell you what is a humbling thought.
Come on, you've never had a humbling thought in your life.
I was going through some of Margaret's photographs. Of course, they were taken some time ago, but you could tell that she came from a very comfortable home. There were azaleas in the background and a lovely little cocker spaniel. And one thinks, here am I, Maxine Chandler, a star, ensconced at the Savoy. And there's Margaret, 14 floors below, huddled against the night air, in the shelter of some concrete arch.
It would give this story a happy ending if someone out there recognized Margaret and got in touch.
Yes, wouldn't it? I mean, because much as I would love her to stay, my modest rooms are really much too little for the two of us. And what should happen if I were to go on location with a film, for instance?
Is that on the cards?
Well, we're reading scripts.
We'll be back with our guest, Maxine Chandler, after this short break.
Didn't take Madam long to segue from the plight of the homeless to a career plug, did it?
It doesn't matter, Malcolm. It's a trade-off. See, I've worked on these charity things before. If you don't have a face, you don't get any coverage. I mean, this only happened because Max is Max. And because it happened, maybe a few more people might dig into their pockets.
I take your point.
Anyhow, she might land Desert Island Discs out of this. We can get her off our backs for a couple of weeks.
You did remember to record it, didn't you?
And good morning to you too, Max.
Hi. Hey, some good's come out of this already. That was a guy from Shelter, wondering if he could use your name to launch an appeal.
The Maxine Chandler appeal.
That's about the size of it, yeah.
I wouldn't have to personally solicit, would I?
Your photograph will be on 1,000 collection boxes. That should fuel your ego.
So long as I can pick the photograph, because the one in the Standard was absolutely hideous.
Oh, yeah, and a couple of the Sundays were on, wanting pictures of you and Margaret.
Really? Not until I've had at least 12 hours sleep.
Well, only trouble is she's gone.
What?
Well, I went to take her in a cup of tea after the show, and she wasn't there anymore.
But she'll be back, won't she, in time for the photo call?
Well, I very much doubt it, so you can sleep as long as you like.
That is so inconsiderate. I mean, after all the kindness and hospitality I showed that woman, I opened my doors to her. I dragged myself at 4 o'clock in the morning to Camden Lock to prick the conscience of the nation. And I don't suppose she even left a thank you note.
To think the Sun dubbed her the Saint of the Strand.
She served her purpose.
And poor Margaret's back where she started.
Yeah, but she's in better shape than when she come in. Anyway, I know all her haunts. I'll keep an eye on her.
She must think you're the saint.
What? You must be joking. She treats me like dirt. She's ever so demanding. She doesn't listen. Nothing is ever good enough, and she never says thank you.
Are we talking about Margaret or Max?
You say either, and I say either. I say neither, and you say neither. Either, either, neither, neither. Let's call the whole thing off.
Italian bombshell Sophia Loren opens up to Barbara Walters on Interviews of a Lifetime, next on WTN.
Oh, yeah. So if I like pajamas and you like pajamas, I wear pajamas and give up pajamas. For we know we need each other, so we better call the calling off.